Today on Investigate TV Plus.
Boulevard 5222 North Avenue.
A nationwide fire truck shortage.
Car 14, portion jumpers.
Could aging fleets and rising costs put your family at risk?
The truck gave out, cost my cousins their lives. How many places are dealing with this? It's a national problem.
We take an in-depth look at why the increasing cost of safety falls on communities and taxpayers.
Plus, a playground accident leaves a young boy fighting to survive.
All the doctors had told us, they were like, well, you see this in a textbook. You never see this in real life.
We explain what surprised doctors about his condition and follow his inspiring path to recovery.
At the end of the day, my goal is to be the best person I can be and try to recover as much as possible.
Then meet the bus driver turning the ride to class.
I keep it on my bus and I just try to remind the kids, smile.
Into a class on kindness.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
When moments matter, an aging fleet of fire trucks may not be ready to respond. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. It's because of what industry experts call a national shortage of rescue vehicles.
While we found the backlog has impacted every corner of the country, one Chicago family questions whether it cost a young mother's life.
In 2024, Destiny Henry and her 5-year-old son were trapped in a burning apartment building. In a desperate attempt to save his life, Destiny threw her son out of the third-story window. While the rest of the family waited to be rescued, firefighters say their truck malfunctioned and their ladder wouldn't go up immediately. It took about a minute to reboot. KJ survived, but Destiny did not.
Destiny was irritated with waiting to try and go out the window, so she decided to try and go out the back door. When she made it to the back door, the roof caved in on her, and that's how she passed away.
That minute could have made a difference. That ladder being ready on point could have made a difference. We don't know, but that does give us that what if. What if they could have saved her if they had a truck that was working properly the way they're supposed to have a truck that's working properly?
Investigative reporter Brennan Keefe examines the shortage and skyrocketing prices.
Plus, he shows us how it can leave departments often relying on rigs older than the firefighters using them.
I think it was approximately 2 o'clock in the morning.
Boulevard 5222 North Avenue. Car 14,
It's literally like 5 blocks from us, from our firehouse.
portion jumpers. Jumpers inside.
They believe people are jumping out the windows. People hanging from the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor.
June 26, Chicago's West Side. Lieutenant Mark McDermott and the other firefighters on Tower Ladder 14 were ready to save lives. Their ladder truck was not.
I heard the rig shut down behind me.
How long did it take? How long was this
It
delay?
seems like it's forever, but it's probably a minute,
What is a minute in a situation like that?
It's a very important minute. Things deteriorate quickly.
Is it a life and death minute?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
This reserve tower ladder is 24 years old. That means this rig is older than some of the firefighters who depend on it to save lives.
The truck gave out, didn't work, cost my cousins their lives.
4 people died in the fire, including pregnant mother Gina Henry, her son Jason, and sister Destiny. The family was waiting to be rescued here inside their burning apartment on the 3rd floor.
Well, here you see the cavalry coming. You get your hopes up, and then all of a sudden it dwindles down because the truck is not working.
Before Tower Ladder 14 arrived, Destiny had already thrown her 5-year-old son out the window of the burning building.
It was a child. They threw the child out the window. They throwing the kids out the window.
I'm glad to be alive.
Destiny threw KJ out the window to save his life, and he hit the pavement.
Do you remember anything from that night?
Yeah,
What do you remember?
fire.
Imagine throwing a child out a 3rd-story window.
I could have killed him, but there's no alternative. There was no other choice.
So the mom died and the child...
We found her actually the next day.
She decided to try and go out the back door. When she made it to the back door, the roof caved in on her, and that's how she passed away.
That minute could have made a difference. That ladder being ready on point could have made a difference.
Their regular rig was here, waiting on parts for months. Take a look from the air. You can see it had a lot of company. And Chicago is not alone. City and county fire departments across the nation are trying to keep their old trucks running or waiting on new vehicles to replace them.
Cincinnati's fire fleet is aging. Fire engines breaking down, equipment on the trucks failing.
Nashville has an aging fleet of fire trucks.
Decades-old engines. The Memphis Fire Department's fleet is old.
This equipment's the worst shape I've ever seen it in my career.
8 engines are out of service.
Even if they're ordered tomorrow, those trucks likely will not be ready to fight a fire in Atlanta for 36 months.
New orders are 4 years out for delivery.
The firemen can't get the trucks, they can't get the engines, they can't get the apparatuses they need. Where is the money going? Who is profiting off of it? This is a crisis.
In September, the U.S. Senate held hearings about the fire truck shortage.
Sometimes we have firefighters responding in pickup trucks like a painting crew with ground ladders on it. It's scary.
There used to be more than 24 major manufacturers across the United States. Not anymore.
Private equity has been buying up independent fire truck manufacturers.
We've seen Rev Group go out and buy competitors until it amassed 30 to 40% market share on a national scale.
We had 4 purchases over the course of 17 years. Each one of those companies was in financial distress when we bought them.
In 2022, federal stimulus money to local governments caused a sudden spike in orders for new fire trucks. That led to a major backlog in production just as the supply chain was rebounding. As that demand spiked, so did prices. Word got out to cities, order early or pay more and wait longer.
You've closed multiple production lines. You've closed them in Pennsylvania. You've closed them in Virginia.
Competitor Pierce Fire Trucks is owned by one of the other conglomerates, Oshkosh Corporation. The company told investors this year that its revenue growth is supported by the strong backlog. Neither Pierce Oshkosh nor Rev Group agreed to an interview, but both companies pointed to their testimony at this congressional hearing.
We shipped more trucks last quarter than any other quarter in Pierce's history.
Our entire industry has been challenged by a dramatic cost inflation, an unprecedented federal stimulus-driven spike in demand, significant supply chain disruptions, and the contraction of skilled labor workforce.
4 cities are currently suing the top 3 manufacturers and their trade group, accusing them of price fixing.
It's about lives and not money.
Back on Chicago's west side, snow now covers the charred remains of an apartment that was once burning so hot, a mother decided the only way to save her son was to throw him out a 3rd-floor window.
Thank you.
You want to say thank you to the firefighters?
Yeah,
They got there as fast as they could.
I appreciate it.
Chicago just received several new fire trucks, including 4 new ladders that were ordered years ago. Nowhere near enough to replace all the old rigs here and across the nation, some of which are waiting on a single back-ordered part.
Wall Street filings for both Rev Group and Oshkosh Pierce show they are increasing production and delivery times are slowly improving.
Though the average delivery time for a custom-ordered fire truck remains at 2 years, with some still taking up to 4 years for delivery.
Still ahead, an accident on the playground turns into a life-threatening medical emergency.
But the first thing he said to me was like, "Mama, am I gonna die?"
We examine the diagnosis common in adults but rare among children and take you on one boy's inspiring path toward recovery.
Plus,
Oh my gosh, I found something.
striking gold.
By the 1840s and 1850s, this place was bustling.
We take you to a town that ignited a fever for a precious metal decades before the California rush.
Our in-depth coverage continues. You can get connected to Investigate TV Plus on all social media platforms.
A stroke is a life-threatening emergency that can happen when a blood clot or broken vessel prevents blood from getting to the brain.
While we may associate stroke with older adults, it can happen in children.
Johns Hopkins estimates each year pediatric stroke affects 1 in every 4,000 newborns and an additional 2,000 older children.
An 11-year-old boy is learning what it means to survive a stroke after an accident at school.
Reporter Elizabeth Vowell shows us how his positive attitude is inspiring those around him.
But all the way up. These days, it's not unusual to see a young person pushing their body to the limit.
So we do a lot of squats, we do a lot of lifts, we do a lot of weights. Don't miss this step.
And 11-year-old Cole Ditmore is constantly trying to outdo himself.
My body tells me you can't do this, but then my motivation just tells me, yes, you can do this.
Go all the way down.
But it's not an athletic scholarship or an NIL deal he's working for. It's a chance at a future. He came very close to losing.
But the first thing he said to me was like, Mama, am I gonna die? And I was like, I mean, it's a loaded question for, an 11-year-old. So, and I'm just like, no, you're not.
Cole had a freak accident on the playground at school. Worried he had a concussion, his mom took him to the nearest ER. But she could have never imagined what came next.
As the ENT was looking at it, he started presenting stroke symptoms.
Doctors and staff immediately started treatment and got Cole to Our Lady of the Lake Hospital, where he spent 4 days in the ICU. It was a scary time for everyone.
My first thing I remember is waking up around 11 or 12 and seeing my dad and my aunt and my mom just all there, and I heard them talking. I just couldn't respond. It just felt weird, I couldn't talk.
All the doctors had told us, they were like, you see this in a textbook. You never see this in real life.
But as it became clear that Cole would pull through, he got to work.
I've been trying my best to get back to my normal self, and I don't know if I can, but I hope I can.
6 months of physical therapy and other treatments, and he's blown through all recovery expectations. His mom credits that to the team at the lake and his support system at home.
We were where we were supposed to be when we needed to be, because had he not presented the stroke in front of the ENT, they wouldn't have been able to act as quickly as they did.
While he still has a long road ahead,
nice.
Cole's treatment team says his attitude could be his best medicine.
He is great. We have to slow him down. He wants to go home and he wants to do the entire therapy session at home. We have to tell him stop doing 50 push-ups in a row.
And that's an inspiration for anyone.
No matter what happens to you, you can always bounce back from it.
Try not to plop.
Whatever happens to you, it can make you the best person you would like yourself to be.
Here's what happened. Cole had a marker in his mouth when he was hit by a soccer ball. The marker punctured his throat and compressed a major artery, which led to a blood clot and eventually the stroke. He's had to cut back on sports, but looks forward to playing again.
At the end of the day, my goal is to be the best person I can be and try to recover as much as possible.
According to Johns Hopkins, stroke symptoms can depend on a child's age. In newborns, you may see seizures, extreme sleepiness, or altered mental status, and tendency to only use one side of the body. Older children show symptoms often seen in adults, such as severe headache, possibly with vomiting, trouble with vision or moving the eyes, weakness or numbness on one side of the body or face, and dizziness or sudden confusion.
Still ahead, step onto a school bus known for bringing a bright spot in students' lives.
Trying not to get emotional because I love my job, I love what I do.
How parents and teachers recognized her inspirational service.
But first,
Mommy, that's gold!
tiny nuggets bring big excitement.
Wait, that's gold, that's gold, that's gold!
We show you the interesting history behind the birth of the country's gold rush.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes.
At a time when Americans were already eager to go west, the discovery of gold in 1848 in California triggered a mass migration.
During the 1840s and 50s, an estimated 300,000 people traveled hundreds of miles for a chance at getting their hands on that precious metal.
Though an estimated $2 billion in gold was extracted, experts say few prospectors struck it rich as they faced grueling work, high prices, and primitive living conditions.
However, what some may not know is gold was discovered more than 50 years earlier, 2,000 miles east of California.
Reporter Kim Anderson takes us to a historic mine to learn the interesting origin story of the first documented nugget.
On this hot July day in Midland, the heat is the last thing on the minds of these summer camp kids.
Oh my gosh, I found something.
Their focus is on searching for gold.
What it looks like. I found gold.
It's not a lot, but a little shiny particle is enough to excite some of our youngest North Carolina residents.
Wait, that's gold, that's gold, that's gold.
And that's just how the gold story actually began. In 1799, with a young boy not much older than these kids, 12-year-old Conrad Reed.
Conrad decided on a Sunday to skip church and go fishing in the creek. And he was bow fishing, so he shot his arrow into the creek, missed his fish, went to go retrieve his arrow, and instead found a 17-pound shiny rock.
Conrad's parents were farmers. They didn't know the value of what their son found or even what it was. They actually used their shiny rock as a doorstop, eventually selling it to a jeweler in Fayetteville for just $3.50, 1 week's farm wage. It was really worth about $3,600.
You can imagine word really spread from there. By the 1840s and the 1850s, this place was bustling. There was a mining town that had been established up on what we call the top of the hill.
We found gold!
People were hitting gold, the largest nugget weighing 28 pounds. But after 1896, there were no more large nuggets found. In fact, hardly any gold was. And with word of California having plenty of it, miners moved on. In 1912, the last underground mining wrapped up here. The farmland had switched hands and stayed quiet until more than 60 years later.
So we were made a state historic site. The state historic site opened in 1977.
Help me find some.
Since then, the place where gold was first discovered here in the U.S. has been a tourist attraction.
I found gold.
Reed Gold Mine.
It's tiny.
Drawing people in for nearly 50 years now to follow the steps of miners through underground mine shafts and, of course, pan for gold.
Gold here.
A nice, pretty, shiny, heavy doorstop.
Can you believe it? They had a lot of money there. That was a lot of money back then, right? Sitting there on the floor. Made a good doorstop, though.
Yeah.
Check out your doorstops at home. From precious metal to glittering gemstones, Louisiana doesn't sound like the typical place you can mine precious rocks, but it's the only place you can find a Louisiana opal.
The Louisiana opal with the fire in it only comes from Vernon Parish or Sabine Parish, Louisiana. There's not been any found anywhere else.
Rick Schermerhorn also hunts for petrified palm wood because he says what's rough on the outside can look beautiful on the inside.
You have to cut it and see what it looks like. It may be gem quality. You don't know that for sure until you first cut it.
After washing, sanding, and shaping, Rick uses his raw materials to make jewelry, wine bottle stoppers, even bookmarks.
Still ahead, she spent decades keeping kids safe and smiling on their way to school.
And when those students step up on her bus, she treats them as her own. They're her children while they're in her care.
Meet the bus driver turning a daily route into a joyful ride.
Every time they step on the bus, children's lives are in the hands of the drivers who get them to school.
One woman behind the wheel doesn't just keep kids safe, she turns her route into a routine for kindness.
Reporter David Andrews shows us how.
School bus driver Jackie Wilkerson Brown, affectionately referred to as Miss Jackie by the students she transports to and from Lansing's, Gardner, and Luton schools.
So we got to give them a round of applause. They made the bus today. Yay!
She's known for being fun and firm.
Try to make it Monday.
Strict with a sweet sugar coating.
Did you get your candy?
What she is not is a mirror bus driver.
Being a mirror bus driver is just sitting in your bus and sit down. Stop doing that. Stop jumping over the seat. You have to sometimes get up out of your seat and face to face with your children.
Recently, Miss Jackie became the face of dedicated bus drivers everywhere, winning the 2025 School Bus Driver Hero Award.
I was like, seriously, seriously, seriously? And I just started crying.
It's the first ever award handed out by School Bus Fleet magazine, the Bible for school bus operations across the country.
This is an unbelievable honor for Jackie.
And a very proud moment for the man whose name is on the side of the bus Jackie drives, Patrick Dean.
Jackie exemplifies everything it means to be a superhero bus driver.
Going above and beyond what's required behind the wheel. Jackie was nominated for the honor by teachers and parents.
And I'm trying not to get emotional because I love my job, I love what I do.
And according to Dean Transportation Operations Manager Todd Sharp, Jackie loves her precious cargo.
And when those students step up on her bus, she treats them as her own. They're her children while they're in her care.
So I keep it on my bus and I just try to remind the kids that, you know, smile.
Posters of positivity line the inside of Jackie's ride.
Kind vibes, happy lives.
She makes sure those happy vibes continue on the ride home with a raucous round of the name game. It gets everyone involved in a cheerful chant, and I mean everyone.
Okay, we have a special guest, so we're going to have Mr. Andrews say it. He has to say Asmania. Asmania! Gomez!
So if you hear a school bus going by where the kids seem to be having way too much fun, you can bet it's being driven by Miss Jackie, the national award-winning driver, who you might call awesome.
If you call my phone right now, the message is going to say, hey, I'm busy being awesome. So because I am awesome, I am awesome. And then to receive this award, and then it came, and I'm employed by Dean Transportation, oh my God, it doesn't get any better than that.
And that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching. On the next Investigate TV Plus, young students in some southern states are making dramatic gains in reading, and the nation is taking notes.
How important is a strong reading foundation to their education moving forward through life?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, you can't really do anything if you can't read.
We take an in-depth look at the solutions some say are getting results.